Recently, I rewatched The Promised Neverland, which is one of my favorite animes of the whole time, and I really wanted to make a video about it. But I was like, man, how can I make a video about it and make the theme matches my channel um niche basically? And I was there. I really want to make a video about this anime because I really like it. But what did I talk about? And while I was watching and reaching the end of the anime, the idea popped up, and I'm like, man, I have to make a video about it. And don't get me wrong, I would talk a lot in this video because I really, really, really like this anime. And I decided to rewatch it because like some weeks ago I made a short video. I didn't post here on YouTube, but I posted on my Instagram and TikTok. So if you're curious, you can follow me there. I always let the links on the description. And I made a video about how I love the Promised Neverland song called Isabella's Lullaby. And uh, this video kind of uh, make such a success. I forgot the word that I wanted to say. It went kind of viral, not exactly viral, but it reached a good amount of views, much more than I usually get. And I've seen many people saying, "My God, seems like everyone forgot this anime." And I'm like, "No, I didn't forgot it. It's basically one of my favorite animes." So I decided to watch it, and right now I'm making this video. And The Promised Neverland is an amazing anime. It's really, really good. I know that many people doesn't like it, but honestly, it's really important to me because when I was at the worst moment of my depression, and I will make a video about it, it was something that I watched it and made me feel much better, especially because of the song, Isabella's Lullaby. That's why the song is so important to me. And curiosity, Takahiro Obata, which is the writer of the song, he follows me on my personal account on Instagram, not my original that you can follow, my personal one. So I'm really really happy. Like, man, I can send him a message someday, but I'll never do that because I want him to keep following me. But basically, um, this anime is really important to me. It's based on a manga. I read part of it, but not all. I don't like the end of the story. When I say this anime is so good to me, I'm only referring to the first season because the second one, I don't like it. I don't like the end of the manga. I had some ideas for the Promised Neverland, so if you're curious, I can share it in the future because I think my ideas are pretty good and it'll give us such a good story. But I won't talk about it in this video. As you can see, I'm really, really happy when it comes to this anime. But this anime is basically about, I'm talking about the anime because it was what I rewatched, but it's based on the manga. It's a story about a orphanage where basically the kids they found out that it's not an orphanage but it's actually a farm, and they live in a world where they're basically raised for being eaten by demons. It's basically that. And these kids they started to make a plan to run away from this orphanage, this farm, and through this time they're planning it. There are many how can I say what's the right word? Many things happen to make this plan go wrong. So basically, they had to be always replanning. A lot of things happen, and they see that the woman responsible to raise them was behind the system, and they were like they feel cheated on basically. So it's really really good. I highly recommend you to watch it. But I was there I'm thinking about how could I make a video about it to make this video actually works on the channel. And I decided to talk about how they found out they were part of a farm and what was the things that guided them to find this out, basically. So in the whole anime, we follow the three main protagonists, which is Ray, Norma, and Emma. They are the responsible ones to plan this runaway basically, and they were the best students in this orphanage because basically they had to take a test every single day and they always got the best results. So they were pretty smart. They actually had a good reason and all. And because of this smartness, they were able to find out about the truth and actually make a plan that succeeded for them to renovate from this farm, basically. And I started to think about it because there were many kids there that were dead and they didn't even found out it because they were manipulated to that, and they rank the kids about their IQ. So I started to think that if they weren't smart, maybe they could never run away. They may found out the truth, but they wouldn't be able to run away, because the plans only succeed because they were pretty smart and they consider many things when they were planning something. So I was there thinking about it, like the importance of you to being smart and the importance to you to reach knowledge and know how to think logically and have a good strategical thinking. And in this video, I want to talk about it. Ways for you to reach is to improve your IQ, to improve your knowledge, to actually learn how to think in a way where you can create strategies to solve problems, because that's what you really intelligent person people do. I made a video recently talking about how to be smart, and the video is called How to Reach Your Full Potential. I'll let it linked. And I was there in that video. I talked about how there are many people who they are smart. They had degrees, but they are not actually intellectuals. They are not actually intelligent, because it's really easy for you to amount knowledge, but intelligence is not just about the amount of knowledge you have in your mind, but if you're able to take this knowledge and create a critical point of view about the world. Recently, I went to the cinema with my family and we watched a movie, really good movie called Nuremberg, which is about a the second hand of Hitler. I don't know if I can say that word here, this name here, but I tried. And he was his second hand, and we see how he tried to run away from the judgment he was receiving, and how he was able to actually, how can I say the word? Like cheat on people who were around him and get what he wanted. And this movie is really interesting because it makes us think about the time we're living right now and how the things that are happening around us recently are leading us to a new movement. How our governments, especially the governments who are really important in the political scene around the world, they're acting like real. So because of that, um, we have to be aware of what is happening around us to doesn't let the story happens again, to doesn't make the same mistakes that our past made. And I was there, I was watching with my family, with my parents. They're both they're both they both had bachelor's degree and they didn't understand the movie. They didn't understand. They thought it was a completely different thing. And that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have a degree, but you're unable to understand simple things because you doesn't have critical thinking. And that's what I'm trying to say since the video. That knowledge is not only about a degree, it's not only about the amount of books you read every single year, but it's about how you act with this knowledge, what you do with this knowledge. Because if you only have knowledge, but you are unable to actually make this knowledge work on your favor, you're not smart. You're not smart. You're only someone who has a lot of information, but they're all, like distant from each other. They doesn't correlate in your mind because you're unable to correlate them. And there's a huge lack in this. So when I was watching this anime, it really made me think about it because I'm currently at college. So I'm currently studying and I'm there. What am I doing with this knowledge that I'm receiving? What are ways for me to actually work out with my brain and make it works, you know? And I have some tips to give you right now that can actually help you. And I also have a short video about it. This one I posted on YouTube. So if you're curious, you can watch this short video. It's hobbies that will make you smarter. So one good thing that I highly recommend you is to actually play strategic games. For example, Sudoku, puzzle, chess. I'm really trying to get into chess and it's been such a challenge to me, but I'm trying my best to improve my rating and getting um learning how to strategically think on a chess table basically. Uh so these games are really good for you to improve your brain workout. So also crosswords, I love crosswords. All those games, I really like them, and I try to do them at least every single day. They are really, really, really good. Another thing is an app that I actually really, really like. It's called now I forgot the name. Elevate Brain is available on Android, on iOS, and it's really, really good. I really like it. This app is really, really good because you can train math, you can train reading, you can train um I forgot the other thing. What's the name of the other thing? But there are basically four main training, and you have to do it at least try to do every single day. Sometimes I forgot doing this, but it's really, really good. It actually helps me to maintain my knowledge, especially in math. It also helps me to improve my English skills because you can. I do it in English. I think it's only available in English, but it's really, really, really good. Another thing that you can do to improve your smartness, your active thinking, is for you to try to read things that are not fiction, that will make you think, that will make you reach knowledge. I was thinking about it because I like fiction. I really like. I'm currently really reading one, which is Les Miserables. I already read it, but I'm reading it again. And it's a classic book, and I really like it. And I also like simple books. Recently, I told you that I was trying to read a Bridgerton book. And look, I'm really, really slow when it comes to reading. I'm not the person who reads a book like in a day. I took like weeks to read a book. And Bridgerton was a book that I read fast, considerably the time I usually take to read a book. And I enjoyed it. It wasn't like a trash. It's not my preference, but I enjoyed it. But I was there thinking, man, how I miss reading a book that will actually make me grow intellectually. So I don't see a problem on you reading this kind of books, but it's really important for you to vary the kind of books that you read. Because for example, when I'm reading Les Miserables, I'm really thinking about it. It's not only I'm here enjoying the history about a couple. No, there are many things happening there, and it kind of brings me to French in the 17th center. I now forgot if it is 1980 or 7th century. I had to check it out. But it brings me to French at the time period, and I can see all that happening. What it's like to be a woman back then, because we see Fantine and all the things that she was passing through. We also have now he's being called in the part I mean he's being called Mr. Medley, but the main protagonist, which is Jean Valjean, and we can see how unfair the society were, and we can actually see how our society didn't actually change so much from that time to now. So you can see that when you read different kinds of books, you can take more advantage of what you're reading than when you read a simple book, only a fictional book, where you don't have to think too much while you're reading. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing for you to read a kind of book that is not so classic and so hard to read. No, sometimes it's totally fair for you to read a book that you actually enjoy and actually have a good time reading it. I myself, I don't like this kind of books, but I really like shoujo mangas. I really like josei. I really like this kind of things that is pretty similar to this kind of books. But it's important for you to doesn't depend only in on time while you tell a story. And I'm taking a sip of coffee. So basically, we have to verify. Um, Another thing that I think is also too good for you is to actually do logic puzzles. You know, there are many apps out there where you can do it. I knew such a good one when I was a teenager, but this app is not available anymore, and I'm so sad. I guess it was from India, but it was really good. They have math problems, they have actual logic problems, but there are many available on the internet. Another good one related to the games is Mahjong. It's like a Chinese domino, and it's really really good. I love Mahjong, and I want to buy a Hello Kitty one because it's really good, but it's not available here yet. So there are many ways for you to train your brain and be smarter, and it's important for you to every single day add these little things on your routine. I got home instead of watching Netflix. I can watch Netflix while I do a Sudoku, for example. So it's really important for you to take a time. It doesn't have to be an hour, only 15 minutes, 10 minutes, or at least I will try to solve at least one puzzle every single day. It's enough for you to already be training your brain. And I know that it's hard to remember because sometimes I myself I forget if we're doing this. In the beginning of the year, I was doing this every single day, like don't stop, and I kind of stopped doing it. I don't know why. I literally forgot. I actually been having a hard time, so I started to be a bit lazy. I started college as well, so I ended up forgetting. But try to add it because you see that audio actually it will improve your knowledge skills. You know, if you're only there sitting and reading and trying to observe, but you're not actually putting it in practice, you're not actually observing everything you should. You're not actually learning everything you should be learning. So, um, and you'll only be fully smart, fully intelligent once you start doing those things. And knowledge is freedom. And that's the message of the anime. They were only able to find freedom because of their knowledge, because they were able to learn about their reality, make a critical thinking about it, and try to make a plan and to connection about this reality and change what they were destined to be, you know. And there's an amazing quote they said in the end of the first season, which is freedom is so beautiful, but yet it can be so cruel. And that's it. Freedom is not the best solution for everything. Because when you choose freedom over comfort, you will have to deal with many things. But your freedom is something that will give the total autonomy to decide what you're up to, you know? So if you live in a reality where you doesn't feel freedom, where you doesn't feel independent, where you doesn't feel free, that's what I wanted to say previously. Uh, you will never be able to actually reach what you wanted. But if you choose freedom over comfort, you have to understand that you may not each reach everything you wanted, but at least you're trying. You're trying, you know, and you have to understand that this freedom brings a lot of responsibilities as well. If you're free, you have to understand that you are up to respond to everything you do. You cannot put the blame on anyone. It's completely up to you. So it's good, but it also comes with a price. With a price. So, uh, but I still think that you being able to make your own decisions and dealing with the consequences of it will always be better than for you to live the life that people planned to you and you're not even able to change it. You have to accept it because you choose it, you know? You choose to keep being there. So I prefer freedom, but I know that it's not easy to run out of a place where you're already made to be in. I didn't know. I don't know if you understood it. But it's a life challenge. You will always be trying to be free and to have autonomy in your life, you know? So basically, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that this video won't prefer no, but if you watch it, I hope I could help you with something. So that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.